What are cell phones doing to our lives? The phone has been around for a very long time. Alexander Graham Bell invented it to help people communicate over long distances. One of the lesser-known stories is that Bell was also interested in helping people who were deaf. Whatever the original purpose, the telephone changed the world. Of course, the phone that Bell invented looked nothing like what we carry around today. I can still remember the first time I saw a wireless phone. I was sitting in an airport and a man walked by carrying what looked like a small suitcase. Attached to it was a handset, and he was talking to somebody while he walked through the terminal. I was absolutely astonished. At the time, it seemed like science fiction. Now, of course, nearly everyone carries a phone in their pocket, and the technology that once filled a suitcase now fits into something only a few inches long. When you stop and think about it, the modern smartphone is one of the most incredible inventions ever created. It replaces a calendar. It replaces a camera. It replaces a photo album. It replaces an address book. It replaces a television. It replaces a game console. It replaces a flashlight. It replaces a calculator. It replaces a notebook. It replaces a stopwatch. It replaces a map. It replaces a wallet. It replaces a newspaper. It replaces an encyclopedia. Years ago, if you wanted to carry all those things around with you, you'd need a suitcase or perhaps even a trailer to pull behind you. Now it all fits into your pocket. I have an app on my phone that searches grocery flyers and tells me where the best deals are. I can check the weather. I can take photographs. I can send a message to someone halfway around the world and have them receive it instantly. There is no question that cell phones have brought enormous benefits to our lives. But every invention has a cost. And I think we're only beginning to understand what the real cost of constant connectivity might be. My biggest concern about cell phones isn't the technology itself. It's the place they now occupy in our lives. For many people, the phone has become the most important object they own. More important than the conversation happening right in front of them. More important than the meal they're eating. More important than the people they're with. Sometimes it even seems more important than their own safety. Think about how often you see people sitting together in a restaurant. A couple sits across from each other. A family sits around a table. The phones are lying there beside the plates. Sometimes they're face down. People think that's polite. But the phone is still present. It's still waiting. It's still demanding attention. The message being sent is clear. This conversation is important, but if something more interesting arrives on my phone, I'll interrupt it immediately. And that's exactly what happens. The phone pings. Someone looks down. The conversation stops. A moment that might have become meaningful disappears. Now multiply that by thousands of interruptions over months and years. What does that do to our relationships? What does it do to marriages, friendships, families, children? I think it changes them in ways we don't even fully recognize. One of the saddest sights I see is parents pushing children in strollers while staring at a phone. The child is looking around, exploring the world. The parent is looking at a screen. Those little moments matter. Children learn through interaction, through eye contact, through conversation, through shared experiences. A child doesn't remember the text message you answered. They remember whether you paid attention to them. And children notice, much more than we think. The same thing happens with dogs. As many of you know, I've been training dogs for over 50 years. One of the problems owners often face is demand barking. The dog barks for attention, barks for a treat, barks to go outside. The owner eventually gives in. The barking gets reinforced. One of the techniques I sometimes use is surprisingly simple. I tell the owner to look at their phone. Pretend you're texting. Ignore the dog completely. The dog quickly realizes it isn't getting attention. What's interesting is that many dogs already understand the importance of phones. They've watched us stare at them for years. They know the phone often wins. Think about that for a moment. We've taught our dogs that the phone is more important than they are. If we've taught that lesson to our dogs, what lesson have we taught our children? Perhaps the most dangerous effect of cell phones is distraction. How many accidents happen because someone couldn't wait? Texting while driving is illegal in many places, yet people still do it. Why? What is so important that it can't wait until the next stoplight? Why are people willing to risk injury or death to answer a message? The answer isn't that the messages are important. The answer is that we've become conditioned to respond immediately. We've trained ourselves to believe every notification deserves attention. Many people experience anxiety if they don't answer a message quickly. I've actually seen social media posts suggesting that if someone doesn't answer within 30 minutes, something must be wrong. Or they're angry. Or they don't like you anymore. Think about how strange that would sound 50 years ago. People used to send letters. Then they waited days, sometimes weeks. Nobody expected an instant response. Today, a delay of a few hours can cause concern. Our expectations have changed dramatically, and not necessarily for the better. One thing I find interesting is how uncomfortable many people have become with being alone with their thoughts. Standing in line, look at the phone. Waiting for an appointment, look at the phone. Riding an elevator, look at the phone. Sitting on a park bench, look at the phone. We've eliminated nearly every quiet moment from our lives. Yet some of our best ideas come during those quiet moments. When we're walking, thinking, reflecting, observing. Boredom used to be normal. In fact, boredom often led to creativity. Children invented games. Adults solved problems. People daydreamed. Now, the moment boredom appears, we pull out a device. The boredom disappears. But perhaps some creativity disappears with it. There's also the issue of sleep. Many people sleep with their phones beside their bed. Some sleep with them under their pillow. The last thing they see before going to sleep is a screen. The first thing they see when they wake up is a screen. Instead of beginning the day with a clear mind, they begin with notifications, emails, headlines, and social media. Their attention belongs to the phone before they've even had breakfast. That doesn't seem healthy to me. Then there is social media itself. Social media can be wonderful. It helps people stay connected. It helps businesses grow. It allows families separated by distance to keep in touch. But it also encourages comparison. People compare their lives to carefully edited highlights from someone else's life. They compare their homes, their vacations, their appearance, their success, and they often come away feeling worse. The truth is that most people don't post pictures of ordinary days. They post the best moments. Comparing your entire life to someone else's highlight reel is never going to end well. I often leave my phone at home accidentally. And you know what happens? Nothing. The world keeps turning. People survive. Messages wait. Life goes on. In fact, sometimes those are my most enjoyable days. I'm more aware of my surroundings. I notice things. Birds, trees, clouds, people. The world feels bigger. When we're constantly looking down, our world becomes the size of a screen. When we look up, it becomes as large as the horizon. I think one of the simplest things we can do is create phone-free times and phone-free places. No phones at the dinner table. No phones during family conversations. No phones while walking the dog. No phones in the bedroom. Even 30 minutes a day without a phone can make a difference. Take a walk. Listen to the wind. Watch your dog explore the world. Notice the changing seasons. Have a conversation without interruptions. The phone will still be there when you get back. I also think parents should think carefully about when children receive their first phone. Many technology executives limit screen time for their own children. That should tell us something. The people who create these technologies understand how powerful they are. Children need time to develop social skills, imagination, resilience, and attention spans before handing over a device that can consume hours of their day. I'm not suggesting we get rid of cell phones. That's unrealistic. And frankly, they provide far too many benefits. What I am suggesting is that we become conscious of how we use them. Technology should be a tool. A hammer is a tool. A computer is a tool. A phone is a tool. The moment the tool starts controlling us instead of serving us, we have a problem. The question isn't whether cell phones are good or bad. They're both. The real question is whether we're using them wisely. Are they helping us connect? Or are they separating us from the people sitting right beside us? Are they expanding our world or shrinking it? Are they making life richer or simply noisier? Those are questions worth thinking about. The next time you're walking your dog, try leaving your phone at home. Spend half an hour simply being present. Watch your dog. Watch the world. Listen to the sounds around you. You might discover something surprising. The world is still an amazing place, even when you're not looking at it through a screen.